Thank you all for joining today's webinar, Electrification Solutions for Power Electronics. My name is Sarah Rowe, and I am joined today by Stephanie Atkinson, Applications Engineer from Parker Lord's Assembly and Protection Solutions Division. Just a few housekeeping items before we begin. You will be set on mute for the duration of the webinar. We will be holding a brief Q&A session following the content presented in the webinar. Please submit any questions you may have to the Q&A feature located at the bottom of the screen in your Zoom panel, and we will answer those at the end of the webinar. If you experience any technical issues during the webinar, not to worry. We will be recording the webinar, and a link to view it on demand will be sent to you via email following the webinar. And finally, please fill out our survey at the end of the webinar so we can enhance our future webinar offerings. With that being said, I will turn it over to Stephanie.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Atkinson, and I'm an application engineer here at Parker Lord. I'd like to talk to everyone today about a little bit of who we are in our company, as well as the solutions we provide, particularly looking at electrification of new power electronics. So today we'll talk a little bit about who we are. We really like to stress that we are multiple solutions, but we are one team. We also like to talk about a little bit of the markets we serve, including the electrified transportation and electrification of the industries that we see today. We also would like to talk a little bit about who we are and where you are currently in our global footprint and where we are standing in the global agenda here. We also are talking a little bit about how we are a perfect partner of choice and why you should work with us and what you kind of can expect from us on the customer service side of things, as well as the electrification side of things. We also would like to touch a little bit on our products and our solutions, providing a bit of an e-mobility portfolio, again, talking about that electrification, but really talking about transportation and how we can move forward. Lastly, I'd like to talk about applications and where our materials can be used, especially in some current applications that are relevant to today's world. Lastly, I'll do a little bit of a Q&A, and I'll just provide a little bit of a summary of what we touched on today. Parker Lord is really focused on moving at the speed of our customers. We have a very strong track record for keeping pace in this rapidly evolving industry. Innovation and competition are driving this industry onward, but it's also an ever-changing market, so we need to move at the speed that our customers are moving. We will rapidly prototype new materials, and we'll even scale up an idea from inception to a fully commercialized production. That gives us a real cradle-to-grave idea of, where we're going and what we can do. So Parker Lord also has a portfolio of electric vehicle solutions, and we really focus on our engineering expertise, but also our large trusted product line to solve any kind of complex challenges experienced in this market, like thermal management, lightweighting, fast charging, reliability, safety, any of the things that we want to use to expand the electric vehicle market. We in particular provide that broad portfolio of electrification solutions. We provide multiple solutions to you and can always recommend several products for your application. And then we truly come together as a team and focus on whatever the customer need is. You can also find rapid support when and where you need it. We have many helplines that are 24/7, and we'll always get an engineer in contact with you if you're having any kind of issues. We also have that global next-gen manufacturing and R&D. I'll touch a little bit on this later, but we are a global company, and we have plants all around the world to help suit different kinds of needs and scale up opportunities. Lastly, I've talked about this a little bit, but we are really focused on innovation. We want to help our customers with the rapid prototyping and that scale up of the products. You'll hear me talk about electrification a lot today, but we do serve that electrification market. That includes automotive market, the e-scooters, bus, train, rail, off-highway, recreation and marine, and also aerospace. Try to think about anything that moves and anything that's electrified. We would like to be involved in that space. Particularly focusing in on each of these aspects, in the automotive industry, we provide very highly engineered, innovative solutions to meet the needs of this new electric vehicle era. Our materials and expertise are why we work with almost all OEMs around the world to bring all of their electrical vehicle device designs to life. We also love to touch in that e-scooter space. E-scooters are lightweight, they're carbon efficient, and they're really easily to maneuver in the city. Our cities will provide more affordable and more reliable designs for those scooters. For bus, train, and rail, we're going to focus on those emissions. These emissions are responsible for a huge percentage of greenhouse gases globally. What we can do is we can electrify those fleets and we can achieve a global carbon dioxide reduction. We're also involved in any kind of off-highway markets. That can include agriculture, construction, mining. We really want to focus on moving towards electrification, whereas before maybe we were focused on industrialization. We'd like to electrify things, and we'd like to provide solutions for the world's largest machines, including those ones in the most harsh environments. With the recreation and marine, again, we're thinking very harsh environments, and we're looking to improve aesthetics, strength, performance, while also eliminating leak points. And we provide this with our structural adhesives and our thermal management solutions. Lastly, we also like to touch on aerospace. Our team likes to perform expertise from different forms of electrified transportation. And then we use that to apply it to that aerospace. And so we're hoping that between all six of these categories, we are providing a nice cohesive environment for innovation in a lot of different spaces so we can cover several different markets. We are your partner of choice. We provide engineering expertise and also trusted products. Something that's super special about us is we have 5 different aspects that we truly focus on and provide support. First, that'll be that global manufacturing and collaboration. We do have a global presence, and we like to provide solutions all across the world. Next, we have this very unique application engineering support team, and that would be my team. And we like to provide solutions for any application. That could be, new innovative products. That could be providing better strength or performance to your product. And that can also look like, handling the thermal management issues in your products. Either way, you can access our application engineering support team 24/7 via a tech line. Third, we really focus on that cradle to grave aspect where we're focusing on customization and scale up. What this means is that we like to provide the opportunity to be customer driven instead of necessarily market driven. We try to be involved in those markets, but then we really try to work with our customer to provide a unique solution for each customer. Fourth, we are very, very involved in safety and sustainability. We want to make sure that we are bringing our carbon footprint down, as well as providing safety for this new electrical world. Lastly, we do provide partnerships with different companies and different dispensing equipment and that kind of thing. Think about that cradle to grave again. So not only will you need a thermal management solution or a structural adhesive or a coating, but you will also need to dispense that, and you will need to put that into your production facility. And to do that, we have to work with different companies to help provide that full cradle to grave experience. We are multiple locations, but we all have the same mission. We are constantly delivering a consistent quality product around the world. So what this means is that we do have manufacturing in the United States, Europe, and Asia. And we also have a global capacity expansion to meet that customer growth. If your company grows, our company grows, and we like to grow with our customers. We do have that unmatched customer service and support. Again, we have helplines available, as well as giving our own work phones and emails and able to kind of communicate needs. We're also a tier 1 supplier. We also engage and support and manufacture consistently in every single region. We do offer those innovative manufacturing capabilities. And lastly, we do have supply chain management designed in particular for risk reduction. This means that we have supplier intelligence, we have material intelligence, meaning, local sourcing here and wherever the plant is versus dual sourcing and making sure that we have several sourcing options. And lastly, we do have that environmental monitoring dual sourcing. And so that will also, lead to the lower carbon footprint, as well as providing that security that we will have our products no matter what happens in the world and what kind of manufacturing issues may come up. Here's a great map of all of our technical centers and manufacturing. What's interesting here is that you will see in the United States, we have one R&D center in Cary. We have a second, a smaller R&D center in Detroit, Michigan. And then we have two manufacturings, one in Indianapolis and Sagertown, and an analytical lab in Erie. And what you'll notice here is that we have chosen places that serve our electrified markets. You will find hubs where you have a huge automobile market in the area, such as in Detroit, Michigan. And this is done on purpose. We'd like to serve our customers, and we want to do so efficiently and effectively. Some other notable places that we have some manufacturing or testing would be Hilden, Germany, Huckelhoven, Germany, India, Shanghai, China, Kofu, Japan, Nagoya, Japan, and Brazil. We really like to provide that support from the concept to the commercialization, that cradle to grave aspect that I've mentioned. We provide a dedicated team of engineers ready and within reach. You are able to reach one of us, and we are able to work with you to assist you in any application needs. We do also provide that support from day one. So we offer a dedicated team with an in-depth knowledge of your application, as well as the products that you will be using. We do communicate with the right people for any question or challenge that you may have while trying to implement our products. We also have that lockstep support from initial design through implementation on the production line to the material trials and the machine selection. What this means is you're really going to get that full comprehensive overview from us. We're going to provide that initial support as you're trying to choose a product and look for a product that fits your application. We will then help you implement that product into your application. We will then help you scale up that product onto your production line by providing either dispensing or material trials. And we will also help you with that machine selection and trying to dispense that on a large scale operation. That does relate also to the partnerships mentioned before of popular dispensing companies. Lastly, we are always adapting and customizing and scaling as fast as you need. Again, this is going to be looking at that customer-driven aspect that we provide. We also have many analytical labs and testing capabilities. Our team has a huge range of specialties, which allows us to offer product and process testing for our customers. What can this look like? This can look like an element analysis, an on-site dispensing trial, a surface science analysis, chromatography, the durability and environmental aging studies, material property studies, and also an application and processing studies. We want you to use our product, and we want to help you use that product. For customization and scale up, we have a trialed, tested, and true product that are ready for scale up. If you need a specialized product, we will provide that for you, but we do have a huge product line to offer. We have that material science expertise with over 40 years of thermal management and adhesive experience. We have multiple chemistry options, whether that's polyurethanes, silicones, acrylics, or epoxies. And we have over a decade of experience with EV OEMs and tiers. Not to mention our vast portfolio of commercialized products. We have custom products that are not off the shelf, and we also have the ability to perfect material specifications to perfectly match your requirements. Again, this is looking in that customer-driven idea of business. You will also experience a rapid scale up for our EV customers and the ability to move at the speed that electric vehicles grow. We can provide that consistent quality across all regions, and we also provide several certifications for facilities. Next, I'd like to touch a little bit on our safety and sustainability efforts. We really are working for a better tomorrow, and what we have realized is that safety and sustainability is at the heart of providing good quality and value to our customers. For quality, you can consider our organization-wide zero defect quality standard. We also provide world-class on-time delivery of products. Again, we have a couple quality certifications that we also follow. This is to provide a peace of mind and allowing you that we are practicing a standardized quality measure. For safety, we embed safety throughout our entire global culture. We have a zero recordable incident goal by 2030. And this doesn't just extend to our local partners, this extends to our worldwide partners, as safety and quality are our number one priorities. Lastly, sustainability. It's a changing world, and today we are willing to change. Sustainability is very simple by design. We are choosing to reduce carbon emissions by 50% by 2030. We also have a goal to achieve carbon neutrality by 2040. Two-thirds of our product portfolio enables clean technology currently. Lastly, I'd like to talk a little bit about our partnerships. We do work together for your benefit by matching the machine to your material. Different types of meter mix dispense equipment could be used for different types of materials. We do provide that specialized meter mix dispense, otherwise known as MMD, knowledge and expertise. We also do have a partnership with all major MMD suppliers throughout the world. We work with you and your preferred supplier to match the machine to the material. We also provide data and testing like dispense trials and abrasion testing. Lastly, we do provide the expertise for custom coders to apply our material. Here's my favorite part as an application engineer, the products and solutions. This is again backed by 40 plus years of experience, and our solutions are known for increasing performance, reliability, and safety to manage that heat and also increase the power density, specifically in electric vehicles. One type of material that we do provide is an assembly and protection solution, also known as a thermal management material. These products could look like gap fillers, adhesives, pottings and encapsulants, and low-density foams. Our Cool thermal management portfolio is particularly recognized for its reliable and custom solutions for use, particularly in the electric vehicle market, like inverters, converters, powertrains, charging, and energy storage systems. These solutions increase performance, reliability, and safety while also delivering a tailored product to manage that heat and increase the power density, as mentioned previously. We also provide structural adhesives. Some products that you might see in this line are the thermally conductive structural adhesives, or the composite and plastic bonding, or the hem flange bonding. These structural adhesives eliminate the need for separate thermal and structural material. Our adhesives also provide that structural bond and reduce the amount of mechanical fixturing needed. They allow that greater design flexibility and the ability to bond dissimilar substrates. This is particularly useful when thinking about weight design and trying to reduce those mechanical fasteners used. We also have some coatings. These could look like two different things. Either one, the dielectric epoxy coating as shown in the image here. That'll be that black coating. Or we have the ultraviolet UV Cure dielectric coating. Each of these coatings depend on providing an insulating barrier around a high-powered electric vehicle power electronic. Our dielectric coatings offer electrical insulation for a wide range of electronic applications, while also providing that insulating barrier. This slide is a great slide to see where our materials are used, and you can see that they are used all over the car. First is that infotainment navigation board, or the chip-level electronics. We will see pottings and encapsulants here, that thermally conductive gap filler, the gels, greases, and underfills, as well as thermally and electrically conductive materials. In that battery pack, we'll see something very similar, pottings and encapsulants, the gap fillers, adhesives, structural and thermal, and also the dielectric coating and potentially the foam. Next, we have that charger and inverter. Think about pottings and encapsulants, thermally conductive gap fillers, and dielectric coatings. The charging station as well, the charger handle, and the motor. I'll provide a couple more examples of more specific applications where these are used and specifically how they are used. We will talk about these within the power electronics space. First, I'd like to touch on the needs of a growing market. The electrification market really needs an off-the-shelf, reliable material. It needs materials that have very consistent performance. We also need the ability to quickly ramp up production as need is increasing greatly. We also need to support that brand new production line with that on site application engineering. This is implementing a chemical into the new facility, and chemicals are tricky. And so they definitely need more attention and might need a little bit more assistance to get the process up and going. It's also important that we increase that longevity of the high powered components and we provide solutions that enable but also support modernization and innovation. A very specific example here would be on the onboard chargers. We're thinking about high power density components that really heat up during the charging cycles due to the influx of energy. If the energy input is limited, then the charging times become extended. These components are rated to certain temperatures, and so it's very crucial that thermal management is used to ensure that these components don't overheat, thereby improving that charging cycle time and extending the longevity. A couple products that you may see here are that Cooltherm line of SC320, 324, 324XLW, and 1600. These are just a couple examples of some products that you might want to look at if you're looking to pot or encapsulate an onboard charger. Some key requirements here would be protection from dust, moisture, and vibration. We also want that high thermal conductivity so that heat is moved away from that heat sink. And lastly, we'll have the flame retardancy. Often we do provide the UL94V0 rated if necessary. That would be burning stopping within 10 seconds of igniting. Lastly, some benefits of some of these products. Again, that high thermal conductivity will draw heat away from the component and to the heat sink. Low viscosity will allow for the potting materials to flow in the small crevices. It'll be self-leveling, so you can pour it in and it will level. The range of working time options can depend on the manufacturing needs, so often we do provide different working time options. It also exhibits that low shrinking and stress on the component as it cures. Now is another common application, the charging systems and infrastructure. The demand for this public charging, as well as the development of faster charging, increases the need for assembly and protection solutions for those high powered charging systems, grid solutions, and integrated charging. Here we're looking to pot or encapsulate the charger handle, which would that be that picture in the top right. These requirements here are going to be protection from that heat, electricity, dust, moisture, vibration. It needs to be very durable. It needs to have a high thermal conductivity. It needs to be flame retardant. And it needs to be compatible with various substrate types. We are still using the Cooltherm line here. Mostly, though, we're going to be looking at urethanes, silicones, and acrylic, which would be that UR288, UR389, SC324, and TC2002, and then a separate material on the Lord line, Lord 5206. Some benefits here are going to be, again, we want moderate thermal conductivity, which will allow for that heat dissipation. We want the low viscosity, as that allows for the potting materials to flow in the tiny crevices in that handle. It needs to be self-leveling and provide good adhesion to the plastic. It also needs a fast gel time to prevent any kind of leakage during cure. So now I'll talk about ePowertrain and inverters. The DC to AC power conversion flows through the high-powered inverters to power electric motors. It's important to have proper energy, and therefore the heat flow will increase the product performance and longevity. The low viscosity gap fillers and potting materials help manage the heat in energy-dense components. So what are some requirements that we're going to look at for this application? Think about protection from the dust, moisture, and vibration. Again, very high thermal conductivity here, and we still want to look at that flame retardant. Here we do, again, have that Cooltherm product line. These are all going to be silicones. So we have 309, 320, 324, 324XLW, and 1600. Again, not super important to remember, but if you are looking for a solution for your inverter or your ePowertrain, then we will be looking at these materials first. Some benefits here of using this material, you have that high thermal conductivity and it's going to draw the heat away from the component to the heat sink. It is going to be low viscosity, self-leveling potting material, and it'll allow that material to flow in the small crevices. You'll have a range of working time options like mentioned previously. And it also still will exhibit that low shrinking and stress on the component, so you're not damaging those very tiny electrical components. Lastly are the converters. So we have a DC-DC power that flows through a converter to either step up or step down the voltage to power the vehicle. That influx of voltage running through the high density components creates that unwanted heat, which will negatively impact the component's reliability, safety, and performance. Here, key requirements are going to be that high thermal conductivity as well as that flame retardancy. Product names, we've said these a couple times now, but again, we're going to look at a Cooltherm silicone. Think about Cooltherm SC320, Cooltherm SC324, 324 XLW, and SC1600. Again, benefits are going to be very similar to the last pottings, but we will have that high thermal conductivity. It'll draw that heat away from the component to the heat sink. You'll have a low viscosity, self-leveling potting material so that you can really flow that material into the small crevices. You'll have a range of working time options, and it will exhibit low shrinking and stress on that electrical component. Some key takeaways here. Parker is one of the largest manufacturers of thermal management materials and is a global company. Parker Lord pairs a cradle-to-grave mindset and dependable products together to provide an outstanding portfolio. We serve the electrified markets, particularly looking at mobility and electrification within transportation. We have that global capacity expansions to meet customer growth, and we're ready to grow with our customers. We formulate our materials based on customer-driven requests, and we really try to provide the customer service to give you a very unique application experience. Lastly, we have that pre-existing trusted product line available. Lastly, I'd like to provide some resources if you'd like to read a little bit more about what we talked about today. First is that thermally conductive potting compounds that enables that higher density electronics that we spoke about. Secondly, would be providing information on liquid dispense gap fillers versus a thermal pad. And both of these white papers can be found online and via the QR code. Lastly, I'd just like to say thank you for listening. Do you guys have any questions?